Good morning everyone. Welcome again in Gujarat English Medium School and Junior College of Science. Today we are going to discuss about the English language. English Yog Bharati as a textbook of 11th standard. Let's see. As you know very well that English is very important language in everywhere. It's an international language. We will discuss about in detail about the English language and the textbook that you have this year. Let's say you have passed out 10th standard. Now you are as a role player in your own life. The main thing that you have to learn in this year, whatever you are going to learn, you have to learn it in a different manners, right? Till 10th standard, the criteria of your English was quite different. This year, you have to discuss English language differently. The textbook that you are going to study is well settled, well planned, and according to the age of your that is set properly, because you are at the very important here as a role model. Now let's see the textbook that you have, that is distinguished or separated in a 4 section that you are going to discuss. The first section of your textbook, that is the prose. The second section, that is the poetry. In third section, you are going to discuss about the writing section and the grammar part, whatever will be there. And the last one, the fourth section, that is genre, drama. This fourth section we have to study in this whole year. As the English language is very easy language to learn, we are going to learn this textbook very easily. Now, one thing, one poem and one prose is rejected as a part of syllabus, that is outdated or out of the syllabus. Okay, good. The first lesson of the prose, the neighborhood, that is out of syllabus nowadays, that is skipped for this year. Okay, so we are going to learn about the second lesson. Initially we are going to start with the second lesson of your standard. Before going in detail about the lesson, I want to ask a few questions related to the lesson. Get it? Very first, tell me, do you like trekking? Do you like trekking? Trekking is very important part of your exercise. Trekking is a very important part of your hobbies. Okay, some students likes it, some doesn't. They don't like, I think, right? Trekking and mountaineering are the different part of climbing. In short, what? Trekking means trekking a hill or a nearest part where you can easily trek some extent. But the mountaineering is very difficult part. That is, we can call it a kind of missions. That is, let's see. Today we are going to discuss about such a part, which is the part of your book, the lesson that is called on to the summit we reach the top. We reach the top. The lesson that we are going to discuss is written by Tenzin Norgay. The author is Tenzin Norgay. Look at Tenzin Norgay. The lesson 1.2, on to the summit we reach the top. Okay. Very first, you tell me, do you know any peak or mountain? Very good. Listen. Himalaya is a mountain. Rocky is a mountain. Sahyadri is a mountain. So many mountains are there in the world. As you learn the geography, you will know a different kind of mountains and the names. And according to the height, they are classified. So mountains are very, very important here. According to the lesson, we are going to discuss the mountaineering. So mountains are a part of geography. Very first, you just tell me, do you know the peaks? Peaks are the highest part of the mountain, highest part of the mountains. If we discuss about in according to the regional area, which is the highest peak in the Maharashtra, if it is the question. So you should easily answer. That is the Kalsubai peak in Ahmednagar district, Akola Tehsil. Kalsubai, highest peak in the Maharashtra. But if it is the question, which is the highest peak in the world, your answer will Everest is the highest peak in the world. Where it is located? It is located at the boundary of Nepal and India, and which is located in the Nepal, today's Nepal. And which mountain ranges it is located? Highest peak Everest, that is the Himalaya. Okay. Next, why I am asking the question which is related to the mountaineering and peak. So you will better understand that we are going to discuss about the lesson which is totally dependent on the mountaineering. Tenzin Norgay is known as Sherpa Tenzin. Sherpa Tenzin, the man who climbed very first the highest mountain in the world, Everest. Get it? So I am talking about the person Tenzin Norgay who has written this lesson, who is the author of this lesson, Tenzin Norgay. We are going to discuss about the very first, about the new words. If you know, let's see. New words. Write down that. Summit. What is meant by summit? Summit means the peak. Peak. The highest point of a hill or the mountain. In Marathi we can call it Shikhar. What is it? Peak means summit. And summit means what? Shikhar. Next. Alternative, changing place. Changing place. Anchor, a person who provides strong support in an uncertain situation. Everyone has such a person in their life. What we call, do you know? That is anchor. Means what? Aadhar Stambha. Capacity, a specified position. Capacity, as you know well. Expedition, a journey undertaken by a group of people for a specific purpose. एखाद्या विशिष्ट हेतूने काही लोकांच्या समूहानं एक ठरवलेली प्रवास यात्रा, आपण त्याला थोडक्यात मोहीम म्हणतो. एखादी मोहीम हाती घेणं. स्लोपिंग, डू यू नो स्लोपिंग? अप अँड डाऊन, स्लोपिंग, उतार किंवा चढ, तिरपा उतार किंवा चढ, दॅट इज कॉल्ड स्लोपिंग. कॉन्ट्रोवर्सी, प्रोलॉन्ग पब्लिक डिसएग्रीमेंट. प्रोलॉन्ग public disagreement, you know? Okay, very well. Ridge, a long narrow piece of raised land. Ridge, top. What is it? Top, a long narrow piece. एखाद्या डोंगराचा, पर्वताचा उंचावलेला भाग, निमुळता. Embraced, to hug, means एखाद्याला कवटाळणे किंवा आलिंगन देणे. Embrace. Aloft, in the sky, आकाशामध्ये. These are some new words for you, which is mentioned in this your lesson. Very good. Let's see. If you observe the lesson, you will know that which things are important in this lesson. The lesson that we are going to discuss today is about the mountaineer Tenzin Norgay. And his journey, whatever he faced at the very first time when he climbed the highest peak in the world, that is Everest, at that time, what problems he faced, what was the condition at that time, whatever his biography he had mentioned in this lesson. The lesson is about that. Okay? या लेसनमध्ये, या पाठामध्ये जो लेखक आहे तेंजिन नॉर्गे, की त्यानं आपला जो प्रवास आहे, पहिल्या वेळेस त्याने जो माउंट एव्हरेस्ट नावाचं जे पर्वताचं हायेस्ट शिखर आहे ते जे चढलंय, तो त्या चढण्याचं वर्णन त्याने केलेलं आहे. त्याला कुठल्या कुठल्या अडचणी आल्या, त्याने त्याच्यावरती कशी मात केली, स्वतःच्या जीवावर उदार होऊन त्यानं ते शिखर चढलं आणि हा वर्ल्ड रेकॉर्ड झाला. तुमच्या माहितीकरता सांगतो, या तेंजिन नॉर्गेला की ज्याचा जन्म 29 मे 1914 रोजी झाला आणि मृत्यू 9 मे 1986 साली झाला. या जवळपास 72 वर्षाच्या कालखंडामध्ये त्यानं आपल्या कर्तृत्वाच्या जोरावर काही पुरस्कार मिळाले, की जो पहिला पुरस्कार त्याला मिळाला 1938 साली, टायगर मेडल. कशासाठी मिळाला, की जे हिमालय पर्वतरांग आहे त्याची थर्ड एक्सपिडिशन ज्यानं पूर्ण केली त्यासाठी मिळालं आहे. स्टार ऑफ नेपाळ 1953 रोजी त्याला हा पुरस्कार मिळाला आहे. आणि पद्मभूषण 1959 साली, की जो भारत सरकारनं त्याच्या कार्यासाठी दिला आहे. In short, we will discuss about few things related to the Tenzin Norgay. Tenzin Norgay, known by birth as Namgyal Wangdi, his real name, and often referred to as Sherpa Tenzin, was a Nepali Indian Sherpa mountaineer. He was one of the first two individuals known to reach the summit of Mount Everest, which he accomplished with Edmund Hillary on 29 May 1953. 29 मे 1953 रोजी द ग्रेट माउंटेनर एडमंड हिलरी आणि शेर्पा तेन्झिंग मीन्स दिस तेन्झिंग नॉर्गे यांना एव्हरेस्ट माउंटेन चढून पार केलं आणि हा जगातला पहिला माउंटेनर असेल, गिर्यारोहक म्हणतात त्याला मराठीमध्ये, पहिल्यांदा ज्यानं गिर्यारोहण केलंय आणि एव्हरेस्ट शिखर जो सही सलामत चढलंय. Tenzin describes the climb to the top and all events occurred during the historic climb. This is the historic climb. The article also describes what brought him to climbing mountains. या पाठामध्ये महत्त्वाचा घटक जो आहे तो काय आहे माहिती आहे का, की अशी कुठली गोष्ट घडली, अशी कोणती गोष्ट आहे की शेर्पा तेन्झिंगला एव्हरेस्ट पर्वत किंवा एव्हरेस्टचं जे शिखर आहे ते चढण्यास प्रोत्साहन देणारी अशी कोणती गोष्ट आहे की त्या गोष्टीमुळं तेन्झिंगनं ठरवलं की आपण हे शिखर पारच केलं पाहिजे. हा जो लेख आहे या लेखामध्ये, या पाठामध्ये त्याचा उल्लेख आलेला आहे. आय एम गोइंग टू रिक्वेस्ट यू, प्लीज रीड वन्स दिस लेसन. On to the summit, we reach the top. Let's see. I am going to read few lines of this lesson that you will know very well. When we left camp 9 on Friday morning, I was determined to get to the top on this day. That morning I remember thinking I was to get to the top even if I died. I was not afraid to die that day. We set out early and all the way from camp 9 to the peak we alternated. I would take the lead and then Hillary, the man who follows when climbing, has a difficult job both in the climbing up and climbing down. He is the anchor. The man going in the lead cuts the steps and break the way. In my pocket I had 4 flags. When we were still at Camp 4, Colonel Hunt gave me 3 flags, those of Britain, United Nations and Nepal. He charged me with the duty of planting them on the top of the world. These 3 flags are in your care. He said, when you and Hillary reach the top, put them at the peak. I'm sure that you and Hillary are going to do it. I told Colonel Hunt that I was carrying the Indian flag with me and I would like to be on the top with the other flags. I had to ask Colonel Hunt's permission in his capacity as a leader of the expedition. My question is that who was the leader of the expedition? Yes. Colonel Hunt was the leader of this expedition. Who was the associate of Tenzin Norgay for climbing the peak Everest? Yes. Edmund Hillary. Indian flag. Colonel Hunt said, by all means, I'm glad to know that you brought an Indian flag. After 1 hour of steady going, we cut across from the south face and started up the west side where we had to pass up a steep line of rock. This was slow and difficult. Once we had cleared this, there was nothing bearing our way to top but a snow-covered incline sloping less and less as it neared the top. These last 60 or 70 feet up the top were not very dangerous, but we kept up the same steady place and we reached the small flattened summit almost together. During the last 50 feet from the peak, Hillary and I were moving about 20 feet apart. We were tied together with a rope. Most of the time the rope was loose, but when we went over dangerous ground, we drew it taut. This rope was a symbol. It tied up together. One could not move without the other. We were not two individuals but a team. I have been asked many times who was first. When we were within reach of the summit, I did not think of who was going to be first. I am sure that Hillary was not thinking that. Climbing takes all your attention. You have many more important worries. What does it matter whether I reach the top first or Hillary? Our main thought was that both of us reach the top we had to. One couldn't do it alone. If there had been a difference of 1,000 feet between us, then one could make the claim that he was first, but even then, only the man behind him could confirm the distance between the two of them. When we reached Kathmandu, we discovered that a controversy had arisen. We talked it over, Hillary, Colonel Hunt, and I. We agreed that all the talk was childish. Get it? Okay. We are going to read it, but before that I want to ask you a question which is related to this lesson. Shall I repeat? Okay. Listen. question is there, who did accompany Sherpa to climb the mountain? The answer is Edmund Hillary. Can you tell me? Can you tell me who reached first at the top of the mountain? No. You cannot tell because as Sherpa Tenzin said that we were not individuals, we were a team. That's why he doesn't mention who stayed first on the top of the Everest mountain, Everest peak. Get it? Okay. Very good. The remaining part regarding the lesson we are going to discuss is it later. But the things you have to do, you should learn whatever the new words I have given. You should know the meanings of them as well as the spellings, because it is very important part of the lesson. Whenever I am going to ask the questions, you have to tell me the meaning with the spelling. Okay? So we will stop here for today. The next part of this lesson we are going to discuss tomorrow. Till that time, you just study regarding the lesson, read it once again. Okay?